Hey there, it's me, Nate, and today I want to talk to you guys about the books I read in the month of May here in 2026. So, let's just get right into it. So I read about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 books in the month of May. I got them over here in a little stack, so let's just get into it. So first off, at the beginning of the month, I read The Baptism of Fire by Andrzej Sapkowski. This is the fourth Witcher book, I believe. Because there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think this is book number 5. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, but I have a review for that here on the channel. I'll put a link on the screen, so that way you can just click that and go watch that if you'd like. But yeah, I really enjoyed Baptism of Fire. It's my favorite of the series so far, which, it was great. I needed that uplift because the previous book, Time of Contempt, was it was a very so-so book. I had a lot of peaks and valleys with that book. So yeah, I had a great time with Baptism of Fire, and if you want more of my thoughts on that, you can check out my review. Then I managed to squeeze in another volume of Selma Spider, So What? This is volume 4, and by the way, I just love these covers for this series. And this, by the way, the series is by Okina Baba, and it's this like epic fantasy isekai like lit RPG. If you don't know what isekai is, think like Portal fantasy. And lit RPG in the sense that, like, in this new world that the characters get transported to, there is like levels and stats and stuff. So think like your Dungeon Crawler Carl and other such lit RPG series. But yeah, and several characters from our world basically are in a Japanese classroom, and they are all killed by something, and then are reincarnated in this new world. Some of them as different, as monsters. And our main character, she is reincarnated as a spider monster, and hence the series title, Selma Spider, So What? But yeah, that's I got the 4th volume of that in. Then next up, I read some Star Wars. I got to read Thrawn by Timothy Zahn. This is like my 3rd or 4th time reading this book, and I still really enjoyed it. I think it's a great book. I plan to continue reading the rest of the Thrawn books, of the canon Thrawn books, I should say. I don't read the Legends Star Wars novels. But yeah, this book depicts Thrawn coming into the Imperial Navy and his rise, his ascension of power, basically, because he starts out as like a lieutenant, and by the end of the book, he kind of makes his way all the way up to Grand Admiral Thrawn, as we come to know him in in Rebels or the Ahsoka show and so on. So if you want to see how that came to be, but also kind of get a really good look at Thrawn's thoughts on things like culture and people and leadership. So it is almost kind of like a study of Thrawn himself, as well as how he came into power in the Empire. So it's a really good book. Next up, similar to Baptism of Fire, this was like another highlight of a series that I was kind of like in doubt of. And here we go. We have Grave Peril by Jim Butcher. This is the 3rd book in the Dresden Files. And I really didn't like the previous book, Full Moon. I ended up DNFing it about halfway through. But a lot of people say that Grave Peril is where the series like really picks up. And I really agree with that sentiment. We get introduced to new characters. There's like forward, momentum and like character relationships. The overall kind of like the overarching plot of the series moves forward in really meaningful, interesting ways. The world building is spread out. Like, we get to see and experience a lot of the things that have been mentioned and talked about in the previous books in more detail and really interesting ways. But yeah, so like Grave Peril is just all around like a huge step up and just like a really great book. It's so like, you know, each Dresden book, there's kind of like a theme basically. So like Stormfront was kind of like an evil wizard, Full Moon, werewolves. This book is all about ghosts and vampires. So if you like urban fantasy, you're gonna love that. You know, so like this is perfect. Well, I shouldn't say perfect, but it was like perfect to like really motivate me to continue reading the Dresden Files. So next up after that, I read Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I've heard it, I say Shusterman, but I've heard a lot of people say Shusterman. I don't know, I'm not sure which is the correct pronunciation on that, so my apologies. But Scythe was a hugely popular YA book. It's the first book of the Arc of the Scythe series, which is basically in this kind of dystopian or utopian future. I guess you would say a utopian future, because for the most part, it's perfect. And it takes place on Earth in like the future, like centuries ahead of us. And humanity has basically conquered death and most issues that affect the world, other than like population growth and like keeping the population in check. So humanity, our technology has advanced to the point where people basically don't have to die if they don't want to, with the exception of being like burned alive. Because like once like a body has been like burnt to, you know, completely, that body cannot be restored. But otherwise, death is like perfectly something that you can come back from. And humanity has like basically dissolved all governments and like political groups and live under this AI called the Thunderhead, which is like this, you know, the sentient cloud-based AI that basically runs everything and like looks after the planet and looks after humanity. But in order to make sure that things don't get out of control, that the population stays in check, humanity created this group independent of the Thunderhead called the Scythedom. And the Scythedom are people who, once their training is complete, and, you know, are selected to basically operate as the New Death. They go around and glean people, because they call it gleaning instead of killing, and basically they go through and select people to die. And that's like their job, and they have a quota, and, you know, they can't be too biased and things like that. And so our two main characters, Rowan and Citra, are chosen to be possible candidates to become a new Scythe. And so basically they are kind of like competing against each other to see who will become a new Scythe. And alongside that, there's like a lot of like kind of like intrigue, as there is like corruption and like a new sentiment about how gleaning and you know, like the power that a Scythe wields, how that all should be handled. So it's a very interesting look, and there's a lot of discussions on like life and death, and without death, how does that affect culture? How does that affect humanity? Like, you know, basically, without death, is there a point to life? And so on. It's a really good book. I have a review for that also just came out, what was it? Last week. Yeah, this past week. Also, I have reviews out for Thrawn and Grave Peril out as well. So, when I was talking about those, I'll also have put something up on the screen, so you can just click that and go to those. Moving up, my last book that I read for the month of May, or last book I finished, The Rising Storm by Cavan Scott. So this is another High Republic book, and it's like it's the direct continuation to Charles Soule's Light of the Jedi. Sorry, give me one sec. When Disney was putting together their idea for like a new kind of like Star Wars project, they got together a group of writers, and those group of writers came up with the High Republic. And so all of the main High Republic books, all the High Republic books are, written by different people. Not all of them are written by the same person. So it is very much like a collaborative vision and project for this era and phase of Star Wars books and stuff. So Charles Soule kicks things off with Light of the Jedi, and which everybody, if if you're interested in reading High Republic stuff, so you start with the Light of the Jedi and go from there. Because whether you read the comics or whether you read the books, you need to read Light of the Jedi. Now, after Light of the Jedi, The Rising Storm takes place about a year later, following up on the events of what happened at the end of Light of the Jedi. And it mainly focuses on like 3 characters. We have Bel Zettifar, Elzar Mann, and Stellan Gios. Sorry. I didn't enjoy this book. It's not the worst thing I've ever read, but definitely compared to like Light of the Jedi, which I thought was a great book, this definitely is not up to par. I'm still thinking about all this stuff I want to say about it. This will be my next review coming up. So that should be coming up on the channel in the next week or so. So look forward to that. But yeah, definitely, like, it didn't kill my momentum on reading High Republic. Like, I still plan to, keep on cranking through all their High Republic, especially since I own most of the High Republic books. I've just never gotten around to them. But yeah, definitely a real disappointment and step down compared to Light of the Jedi. But yeah, those were my reads for the month of May. That was, what is it, 6 books? So I think I had a pretty good month for the month of May. And I don't know about you guys. Looking back in retrospect, May felt like an extremely long month. I don't know. Maybe I was anticipating for the month to be over, because I'm about to, here in the next week, I'm about to go on vacation from work. So maybe I was just really looking forward to my vacation. So maybe that was it. But yeah, if you guys have any thoughts on the books I read here in May, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you want, tell me what you guys read in the month of May. I'm really curious to hear, what you read, and give your thoughts on that. And are you going anywhere for like summer vacation or anything like that? Like, a lot of people, if you're in America, school is letting out, so if you have kids or anything like that, you go on a family vacation or a trip somewhere, let me know. And as for my June TBR, I'm going to be doing a video of that here in the next few days, so look forward to that. And sorry, I'm also going to be doing a May book haul video, so I can show you all the books I picked up in the month of May. Because I picked up a good amount. I was a little splurgy. But yeah, so until next time, have a good day, and thanks for watching.